Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Sean Croxton of UndergroundWellness.com, hanging out with the man, Paul Chek, founder of the Chek Institute, also the guy who put together this amazing DVD set called Healing Fungal and Parasite Infections. It is really good. You have to check it out. He and I just got done filming a 4-video mini video course for you guys that you're going to absolutely love. But first, we want to give you some information about what fungal and parasite infections are and how to know if you have them. Paul, talk about that.
Yes. Well, we all have funguses and parasites in us at all times. Funguses are everywhere. They're in the air, they're on the water, they're in the earth, they're everywhere. To get rid of funguses out of an environment is very tough to do. They have to do it for building electronics and certain chemical processes, and it costs a tremendous amount of money to create what's called a clean room. So principle point number one is you can't get rid of funguses and parasites in an environment. You can certainly create changes, as we discussed in our little mini course, by cleaning your house up, keeping the kitchen clean, and doing things like that. But you can't get rid of parasites. You have to prepare yourself to be in the environment with them. Next, we have them as part of our natural physiology. As I show in the DVD set, there's good research showing that about 90% of all the cells that we call our own cells are actually, shall we say, parasites that are having a symbiotic relationship with us. Now that's a big number, it freaks a lot of people out, but it's actually scientifically true, and they even wrote about it recently in The Economist. They had an article all about the new advances in understanding bacteria, and they cited that research in there as well. So it is becoming more common knowledge. So what we've got to do is understand that an infection is when the bug comes into your body, the fungus or the parasite, and begins to alter your biochemistry so it's more favorable for them to proliferate than it is for your body to be healthy. They're agents of decomposition. They want to eat you, right? So they're constantly seeking to eat more, eat more, eat more. So if the immune system cannot kill down the funguses and parasites to a level that they can manage, then you have an infection. So the key distinction here, we all have parasites and we all have fungal spores in us, around us, and on us. Those that have an infection have not managed themselves effectively enough to give themselves the immune support and the nutritional resources and the rest to protect their body against what is always there, and therefore, because the environment's favorable for the bad guys, too much sugar, too much stress, etc., all the things we talked about, then you get an infection. Once you have an infection, it's a pretty serious thing because parasites typically have their favorite target organ. Some love the small intestine, some like the kidneys, liver flukes like the liver, some like the brain, some like the eyes. So once you get an infection, they can actually damage organs and create pretty serious life-threatening diseases and even kill people. A lot of people die of parasite infections in a year, and fungal infections actually set you up for what can lead to death. Actually, for example, it's well known that AIDS patients don't die of AIDS. They die of a fungal infection because the AIDS wipes their immune system out, but it's actually the fungus that'll kill them. So those are the criteria of an infection. And my only key point here is don't think you can get rid of funguses and parasites. It would be a bad idea. It would be the same as if you said, I'm going to get rid of all the bugs in my garden. Well, if you got rid of every bug in your garden, you wouldn't have a garden. Right. You'd have nobody to work the soil, aerate the soil. Everything in nature has a function. So we don't want to get rid of funguses and parasites. We want to learn how to have a healthy relationship with them, because as I show in the DVD program, unlike many people that lecture on the topic, I show that there's many benefits to funguses and parasites, one of which, as an example, is funguses and parasites all are sugar lovers. So whenever you have a fungal or parasite infection, the more sugar you eat or the more poor quality food you eat, the more your symptoms increase. So your funguses and parasites are actually telling you when you're abusing yourself by increasing your symptoms. So really the symptoms that I'm about to list are the indicators you're not paying attention to the bugs that are there to actually help you. So for example, someone's eating too much sugar, just like you have to elevate insulin to try to bring the blood sugar levels down to protect the nervous system, your body will bring in funguses and let them go crazy on the sugar to protect your central nervous system. Parasites love your excesses. So whatever you're eating in excess, you invite them to table, because if you don't get that stuff out of your body, it can poison you, rot in you, and turn you into a sick person anyhow. So the point that I'm making is, remember, these things aren't actually there to offend you. They're there to do their part in nature. And if you put yourself through faulty diet and lifestyle practices into the category of being a threat to the overall plan of nature, or a poor contributor, then they do their job to decompose you.
Gotcha. Walk us through some of these symptoms here.
Interestingly enough, fungal infections and parasite infections have many parallel symptom profiles. There are things I get into the program that are more specific, but in general, these symptoms turn out to be common to both classes of bugs, funguses and parasites. Again, though, funguses are parasites. Skin problems, extremely common. Energy highs and lows. Often the highs come because the parasites, funguses and parasites, can modulate your cravings by releasing chemicals, and they make you crave lots of sugar and lots of sweet stuff and things that aren't ideal for you. That causes energy highs and lows because you get too much sugar followed by a blood sugar crash, which is extremely stressful on your physiology and burns your adrenal glands out. Sleep problems, common to both. The worse you get with a fungal or parasite infection, the more likely you are to start sweating at night around 2 to 3 a.m. And if you have a significant case, you'll start grinding your teeth at night. Digestion and elimination problems are very, very common in people that have fungal and parasite problems, both leading up to it, meaning before you get it, digestion elimination problems set you up for a fungal or a parasite infection. And if you didn't have it and you get a parasite or a fungal infection, digestive eliminative problems are common because of it. So you see a lot of digestion elimination problems as A, attractors, and B, result. Gotcha. Brain problems such as mental clarity, mood swings, and just a general feeling of kind of foggy headedness, not clear thinking, almost like the brain's under labor. Yeah. Muscle and joint problems are very, very common. As a matter of fact, some people have reported to me that they can feel and see parasites moving under the skin. I've actually seen cases with my own eyes of worms moving under the skin. I've had several cases of worms I can see right in the eye of the individual. A lot of people that have fungal infections will get chronic popping of joints that can become painful, and most chiropractors and manual therapists aren't sure why it's happening. Right. Okay? Hunger, typically with either of these things, funguses tend to make you more hungry for sugar. Parasites make you just hungry for anything. And I remember one of my clients had a tapeworm, and I went out to lunch with her. She was like this tall, little tiny girl, maybe 110 pounds, and she ate twice as much food, and I just finished a heavy deadlift workout, which makes me a hungry guy. Mm-hmm. And the instant I had lunch with her, I knew right there's no way she could be eating that much unless she has a parasite. Sure enough, I got her tested, and we found out she had a tapeworm. Wow. Okay. And finally, sexual performance tends to diminish because the fungal and parasite infection is very hard on the adrenal glands. So once you shut the adrenal glands down, you see a lot of problems with sexual performance. Mm-hmm. So the other problem is that these things are transferred quite easily through sex, as I show in the program. So we have to be not only careful of not just running out trying to take pills to increase your sexual performance, because if you have a parasite infection shutting you down, you want to be careful about who you're having sex with, or you can spread that parasite infection everywhere.
All of these symptoms are incredibly common, and people are typically taking the medical approach, and they're just getting pills and whatnot to cover them up. So what we're going to teach you is how to get to the root cause and what fungus and parasites may have to do with it. You don't have to wait to get the DVD. You can just put your email address right over in the box over there, and we'll send you 4 free videos with all kind of great information on how to heal yourself from fungal and parasite infections. Paul, just real quick, of our audience watching this video right now, what percentage do you think are dealing with a fungal or parasite infection?
Well, there's a lot of good research on that out there. Independent studies say that 90 to 95% of the world population has a fungal infection. And other studies guesstimate approximately 90% of the world population has a parasite infection. So remember, these studies are looking at the world population. So the same 90% that have a fungal infection also have a parasite infection.
Wow, that's a lot of
And
people.
classically, when you have a fungal infection, it opens the door wide for a parasite infection because funguses release chemicals, mycotoxins, that have been shown by research to modulate the immune messenger system, interleukins, cytokines, and immune communicating systems, and debilitate the immune system, making it very easy for parasites to take you over.
We're going to help a lot of people with this.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
it's
That's
gonna
why
be
we're
amazing.
here.
That's right.
Let's
that's
get
right.
healthy so we can make love and eat lots of good food and sleep well and lift weights without pain and all that good stuff.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, buddy.